Okay, so I'm joined in the studio by not one, but two filmmakers. Guys, would you like to introduce yourself? Start over here.
I'm John Baker Senior, the producer in the film.
No, I'm John Baker Jr., the director of the film.
Well, I don't think I've ever been in the studio with two people with the same name before, so it's a bit of an honour. Also, so yeah, you've both worked on this film called Life's a Beach, which was shot in Folkestone, but also John Senior is the founder of Britflix.com as well. So I just want to start off just asking a little bit about Britflix actually. So what is Britflix.com?
Basically, it's just a film's website to promote British films and give sort of, we cover all genres and all budgets, but we sort of tend to give more publicity to the smaller films if we can, and just give them a little bit of a lift where they're sort of up against the Hollywood machine, So that's basically what we want to do is give them a platform.
And how long have you been doing that for?
About 8 years.
Wow, yeah, because and there's a podcast as well, isn't there?
Yeah, we've got a Britflix podcast. Usually goes out on a Thursday.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm a bit of a fan of the podcast. I listen to it every week, which we'll come back to later, actually. So this film, was it made in association with Britflix, or is it separate to what you're doing with Britflix?
Britflix has got... basically, it comes under the umbrella of Britflix to a certain extent because it's within that limited company, and within what we wanted to do really was have a production arm of Britflix, and this would be Britflix's first sort of proper production, feature-length production. Okay,
so let's move on to the film then. So I'll talk to you, John Jr. Tell us about Life's a Beach and... tell us, just sort of set up what the film is about, and tell us a little bit about this, I think, absolutely extraordinary subject matter of your film as well.
Well, I started the film in 2010, in April of 2010. I was at university at the time, and I was just walking down the Warren with a couple of friends, and ended up talking to this man that had built this amazing log cabin on the beach. He just offered us a cup of tea, showed us around, showed us his generator, showed us his way of life, and I asked him instantly about doing a documentary on him.
Wow!
Because it was such an inspiring situation to be in, especially with like fuel prices and all that, and living self-sufficiently
as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good. So. And yeah, I mean, there can't be that many people living off the land, as it were, in modern Britain at the moment as well. And it's amazing to think this happened in Folkestone as well. So yeah, how about how did the production of the film work out, and how did you go about sort of capturing this story?
I went down there quite often.
Yeah. With
the camera. I think most days I went down there with just wanting to film what happened naturally, to be honest. There were certain days where I did have a structure of what I wanted to film, but the majority of it was letting Mungo do what he does.
Yeah.
And just capturing as naturally as possible.
So when was the film shot, sorry?
It was shot, I started shooting it in 2010.
Yeah.
And finished, in 2011. That's when in late 2011. So I think it was about 18 months in total from spring to November.
I think Mungo died on the 26th of November, and then the funeral was we had the Viking funeral. That's how it ended.
Yeah.
Although we don't want to give too much away.
No, spoilers.
To people that don't actually know the story. But so it was about 18 months, start to finish, and John never knew how it was going to end.
Yeah, of course.
Because we thought the two ways it was going to end. One, he was going to be kicked off, or two, he was going to sail off in the sunset. So it was a third ending.
Yeah, of course. I guess you can't predict what's...
unexpected ending as well.
Yeah. But I guess it kind of has a strange sort of potency, doesn't it? I mean, I've seen the film. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I mean, where is it available to watch at the moment, or is it doing the festival circuit at the moment? Isn't it?
It will come out on DVD at some point.
Brilliant.
And hopefully we'll have a premiere in Folkestone.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I'd love to. But am I right that it's showing at the Glasgow Film Festival
That's right.
So that's just been announced quite recently, hasn't it?
That's right. So we was really delighted for that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Glasgow Film Festival is the third biggest in the country.
Yeah, wow.
It's the fastest growing.
Yeah.
Last year it had 42,000 visitors, and it's really catching up on Edinburgh. So we was really delighted.
And it's amazing that a local story about a local person in Folkestone has captured the imagination of the Glasgow Film Festival, which is probably the furthest point in the UK from Folkestone there is. And it shows that, I think, for me, it shows that the film is universal, and the subject that it touches on, like sustainability and freedom of living the way that you want to, really translates across the country, and hopefully get some screenings internationally as well.
We certainly hope so.
Yeah. So when's it showing at Glasgow then?
It's showing on the evening of the 26th of February.
Yeah.
And it's got a morning viewing on the 27th.
Cool. Okay. So if you're up in Glasgow at that time, you should definitely go and check that out.
Absolutely.
But we'll try and sort out a local screening too, and maybe we can have you guys back on when that happens.
Be delighted.
So I've got one more question for you both, because, like I say, I'm a bit of a fan of the Britflix podcast. I thought I'd ask you the question that's always asked at the end of the Britflix podcast, which is naming a British film that you don't feel has as much kudos as, it could be an independent film. You must have thought of it.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's one film that I've had in recently. That's called Blood and Carpet.
Oh, right.
And the director's name slips me totally at the moment. But I'm going to put something about it on Britflix this week. Cause it's got a few screenings coming up in February. But it was a great little sort of noirish sort of murder little mystery. It was shot in black and white, John, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of colour scenes in it, but the majority was
absolutely just beautiful to look at.
It was only shot on £3,000 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, £3,000.
Yeah. No way.
And
Blood and Carpet.
Blood and Carpet.
I'll have to check that out. That sounds really good.
I've got the trailer on Britflix.
Okay. Oh, you have to send
I
us a
absolutely
link.
loved it.
Yeah.
So that's just a recent film. That's just off the top of my head.
John Jr.?
Oh, I can't actually think off the top of my head.
Or even just like your favourite British movie.
Favourite British movie?
Is that even harder?
Yes.
Your favourite British movie, if you class it as
it's a bit vague, ain't it?
Sorry?
It's a bit vague if you were to say Space
No, but his
Odyssey.
favourite British movie, if you class it as that, which it does come under British, would be 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh, yeah. It was reissued recently as well, wasn't it?
Which remastered.
I'm really gutted that I missed going to see that at the cinema. I really want to.
It's a big screen film, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
It's probably got one of the greatest openings in a film. Although I think Eyes Wide Shut beats it for me.
Yeah.
Another Kubrick film.
Yeah. Well, as much as I'd love to talk about Kubrick with you for the rest of the evening, I've got to go now. But thank you so much for coming in and telling us about your project. And just keep us in the loop about it. Let us know any other screenings, and please come back. And
certainly will. Be delightful to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Cheers.